Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to be doing What If Deku Went Back in Time? Now, I know you're probably super confused, like, what do you mean, went back in time? I literally mean, like, this man's whole consciousness went back in time. To, like, the USJ attack. So, while Midoriya's just chilling on the water, he's like, what are we gonna do? His consciousness, is completely erased. And his future consciousness is placed within his body, because I'm going to say his future self kind of croaked. And, I'm going to say, like, I pull up, like, nah, you ain't dying. I'm going to give you a reset. And I just bopped the dying Midoriya, the older dying Midoriya over the head, and his consciousness was sent to his younger body. He's like, what the heck? I was dying. How am I alive? And, Midoriya's, like, super confused. Suyu and Mineta are super confused. Midoriya looks at Mineta. Wait. He backhands Mineta. Always hated that guy. Anyway. Yeah, that's how we're starting this. Mineta just got backhanded. Oh, perfect way to start any what if. Watching Midoriya backhand Mineta with his broken hand. And I'm gonna say, I sent Midoriya back with a healing factor, saying it's his quirk. And it's gonna be purple fire that he can use to heal. And he can also summon a flaming axe, just because I like Data Live and it's one of the Data Live characters' powers, and I'm just gonna do it because fun. Besides, I want to see him use a giant flaming axe gun to blow up a giant monster, okay? Don't judge me. You're telling me you wouldn't want to watch that? Yeah, exactly. Shush. Anyway. So, Midoriya looks, and he sees, Aizawa, and he's like, holy crap, Aizawa? How? And he sees Shiraki, he sees the old Nomu, and he's like, wait, did that kid send me back in time? And he says this out loud, and everyone's like, Suyu and the villains are like, what? Midoriya says, you know what, never mind. And full cowling. He activates full cowling at 5%, and he just books it. He roundhouse kicks freaking Shigaraki. He punches Kurogiri, making his void particles kind of go everywhere. And then he runs up on the Nomu, and he's like, I can't think of a good name for an axe. I'm gonna just use the Data Live character's axe. Hold on, let me look it up. So he just slams his fist into the ground, creating a giant fire, like magma wave that engulfs the Nomu. Stop it! And the Nomu's knocked back by this, but he gets up and starts regenerating. And Izuku's like, she might be mad, but I'm gonna use her axe. And he holds out his hand straight up into the sky. And then a giant heat wave from the sun blasts a hole into the top of the USJ. And he says, come here. I think that's how you pronounce it. I could be very wrong about that, but still, that's how I'm gonna pronounce it. You're okay, shush. And then a giant axe just appears out of nowhere, and he's holding it one-handed. Like, he stabs the bottom of it into the ground, and he's holding it one hand, and everyone's like, when did Izuku become this cool? Bakugo's like, what is going on with the nerd? And Izuku picks up the axe, and he swings one-handedly, creating a giant fire, wave or something. Not like when he punched into the ground and created a fire magma wave. No. It created, like a, like from certain animes when someone swipes the sword really, really hard and it just creates a strike? Yeah, that's what he does, but with fire. And then he's like, alright, time to end this. And he holds the axe in a weird position. It turns into a giant gun. And he fires it. It creates a giant ball of fire, and it just shortens into like a beam, like a small arrow beam, and it shoots and it kills the Nomu. Izuku brings back turns it back to normal, and then throws it, sending it back to where it went, to where it belongs, through a portal. He's like, okay, so I still have the power of the spirits. Because I'm going to say that the spirits did come in the anime, and Izuku met them all, did whatever Shido did, and Date Alive. If you know, he dated all of them, you know, got all their spirit powers. And he can use any of the spirit's powers from the anime. I haven't read the Night Law. I have not read the light novel, so I don't know any other ones besides, you know, the OGs. You know, Katori, Kurumi, Toka, Yoshino, the Yami twins, and Miku, who I think is the one who has Gabrielle. Besides those, you know, I can't think of any. So Izuku's like, alright, time to punch Shigaraki's face in again. And Izuku cracks his knuckles, but then, what's his name? The Void guy, I forgot his name. You're probably gonna be mad at me and screaming at me in the comments. He wakes up and he's like, oh crap, well, time to dip. And he grabs Shigaraki and is like, we head now. And then he teleports them out of there. So a few minutes later, All Might pull up, busts down the door and says, I am here. I am, and then Izuku says, yeah, we know, you're here. Now canon. I'm trying to figure out where Shigaraki went. They warped, but I can't track them for some reason. What's up with One For All today? First I thought I died, now I'm back in the USJ. And everyone's confused, like, wait, you almost died? And, what's her name? Froppy's like, Sue's like, but you didn't almost die, Ribbit. He's like, yeah, I know. I went back in time somehow. I'm back to 10 years ago. What is going on? I almost died to a guy. I almost died to Shigaraki. And then Shigaraki blows up. And then I'm sent back in time by some kid smacking me over the back of the head. And I still have all my powers. It's just my One For All's weaker for some reason. Like I can't use my full power. And Izuku looks at his body. He's like, wait a minute. I actually got sent back in time. Holy crap. Wait a minute. Does that mean I could change the future? And then he's like, and then his eye twitches. And he's like, I'll be right back. And then like red, black, green, and white lightning starts emanating off his body. And this, you know, ain't like the normal one. Like as you know, in the show, they get off. You know in the show where Izuku does the lightning thing? Yeah, that's for visual effects for us. That doesn't actually, no one actually sees them. But this time, everybody sees it. Can you get up? Get up. Come on. Up, up. Up, up. Up, up. You're not supposed to sit on that. Ow. Okay. And everyone's like, what? When did he get the lightning? And I'm gonna say his body kind of like buffs up a little bit. Like for some reason, his original power or whatever comes back or something. And he's able to, you know, use One For All at 100% again. And I'm gonna say the reason that is because his quirk allows him to put, you know, his quirk that I gave him. Yeah, it's basically called Infinite Limit. So he has no limitations. If he wants to use his power at 100, you best bet he's using his power at 100. At 100. Anyway, so Izuku runs, like, basically disappears from everyone's line of sight. And everyone's like, what the heck's going on? Even All Might, who realizes he's about to start shrinking, is like, oh, I gotta go find where Izuku went. And then he disappears. He does the same thing. Everyone's like, what is going on today? And All Might shows up at the UA and he's like, my guys, we have a problem. Izuku disappeared with lightning coming off of him. And he says something about needing to go finish something. And you all know what I'm about to do. If you don't, I feel bad for you. But if you do, my respect. Anyway, Izuku pulls up on the Saikai building and kicks down the door with one foot, with both hands in his pockets, like an absolute boss. And he says, all right, where's Overhaul? I gotta punch his face in again. But this time with a little extra power. And all the Shisakai are like, why are you looking for the boss? And he's like, right, they don't know about me. I could just pretend to be a villain and steal Eri. He's like, I want to make a deal with him. And then this is before the old Shisakai boss was put into the hospital or whatever, put in the hospital bed. And he's like, why do you want to talk to my son? And he's like, oh crap, you're alive. And Izuku's like, oh crap, I didn't think. Oh right, time travel, duh. So Izuku's like, I need to talk to Overhaul or Shisakai or whatever his name is. And the old Shisakai boss is like, all right, so why? And Izuku's like, bruh, did I stutter? And then he flexes his full power, and everyone, except for the old boss, is pretty much on their knees, crying to their mommies. The old Shisakai boss is old, so I'm gonna say he's felt a minor presence like that. He's felt a presence like this, but weaker. A little bit weaker. And I'm gonna say, yes, Overhaul, unfortunately, is Deku's dad. And he knows it. He just likes flexing his power to scare people when they mess with him. He's like, through here. And he leads him straight to Overhaul, who's currently about to cut open Eri's leg. And when Izuku sees this, he's like, nope, not gonna let that happen. And then kicks Overhaul's face through a wall. And Eri's like, oh, what's going on? He's like, shh, it's okay, kid. I'm here to save you. Before anything really, really bad happens, I need you to close your eyes. And she's like, why? Come on, do you really want to see this bloodbath? And she's like, bloodbath? And he's like, oh, she's so innocent. And I'm just going to say he creates a blindfold because he can do that. And just uses it to cover her eyes. No, he takes off his uniform jacket and uses it to cover her head. It's like, alright, Overhaul, I know you have a power to rip people apart. How about I rip you apart first? And then he just rips Overhaul's arms off and jabs them into his eyes. Yeah, he rips Overhaul's arms off and then jams them down his throat. And the old Shisakai boss is like, why did you do that? He was my son. And Izuku's like, yeah, but he was going to torture this kid. Make her feel and make bullets out of her blood to erase quirks. And he's like, how do you know that? He says, because I'm from the future. He was going to put you in a coma-like state so he could take over the whole Shisakai. The Shisakai. And he's like, what? You're from the future? And he's like, oh, I don't have time to explain. And he touches the boss's head and shows him everything that he's seen. And he's like, oh, well, if that's the case, she's not safe with me. I'm gonna say that he didn't just kill Overhaul. He just knocked him out. And he's like, so why don't you kill him? And he's like, bro, I'm trying to be a hero. I ain't trying to kill nobody. And he's like, wait, didn't you just say you have business with him? Yeah, I'm trying to take Eri before he hurts her. I want to keep her smiling. She's adorable. She's my cinnamon roll. She's my little cinnamon roll. And the Shisakai boss is like, oh, you can take her with you. And he's like, cool. Okay, so how about this? I'll make a deal with you. I'll get the heroes off your backs for a little while. As long as you let me take Eri. Although, if you don't let me take Eri, I'm going to open all of your skulls and then make you drink your own blood. And the Shisakai boss takes a big gulp and is like, okay, yeah, you can take her, go. And that's where I'm going to be leaving it off, because I just thought of this, and it's like really good. I'm also going to include a lot of Data Live. I'm going to include Data Live into a lot of my what ifs, unless you just don't want me to. If so, that's cool too, because, you know. Anyway, that's going to be all for this time, guys. Bye-bye! Come on.